It began with a faint, crackling radio transmission. "We must be on you but cannot see you, gas is running low." That was the final known message from Amelia Earhart, aviation icon, national hero, and one of the most famous women in the world. Moments later, her voice vanished into the static. There was no distress call, no confirmed wreckage, just silence, and a mystery that would haunt history for the next 90 years. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart remains one of the most chilling unsolved cases of the 20th century. But was it simply a tragic accident, or was something far more sinister at play? Let's unravel the disappearance of Amelia Earhart and explore the theories, facts, and secrets still haunting the skies. Welcome to Dark Dossier, where we uncover the darkest mysteries. Be sure to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss an upload. Amelia Mary Earhart was born on July 24, 1897, in Atchison, Kansas. From a young age, she defied the expectations of her time. She wore pants when girls were told to wear dresses. She climbed trees, hunted rats with a rifle, and dreamed of adventure. By her early 20s, she'd worked as a nurse during World War I, studied medicine, and taken her first flying lesson. That moment changed everything. In just 6 months, she'd saved up enough to buy her first plane, a bright yellow Kinner Airster she called the Canary. Amelia began breaking records quickly. In 1932, she became the first woman to fly solo nonstop across the Atlantic Ocean. 5 years later, she was preparing for her most daring mission yet, a flight around the world. The plan was to fly east, following the equator, covering over 29,000 miles. She'd attempt the journey in a twin-engine Lockheed Electra 10E, specially modified for long-distance flights. Joining her was Fred Noonan, a skilled navigator and former Pan Am pilot. They departed from Oakland, California, on May 20, 1937, and began a multi-leg journey through South America, Africa, India, and Southeast Asia. By the time they reached New Guinea on June 29th, they had already covered 22,000 miles. Only 7,000 remained, across the vast and treacherous Pacific. Their next destination was Howland Island, a speck of land just over a mile long, located between Hawaii and Australia. It would be the most critical and dangerous leg of the journey, and it would be their last. On July 2, 1937, Amelia and Fred took off from at 10 a.m. local time. The weather was poor. Headwinds were stronger than expected. They were aiming to reach Howland Island after roughly 20 hours in the air. Awaiting them was the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Itasca, stationed off the island with radios and equipment to help guide her in. As they neared the island, radio operators began picking up fragments of Earhart's transmissions. "We must be on you but cannot see you, gas is running low." Another message: "We are flying at 1,000 feet. Those were the last words ever heard from Amelia Earhart. Despite sending signals, flares, and voice responses, Itasca couldn't make contact. Either Earhart couldn't hear them, or something had gone terribly wrong. At 8:43 a.m., she transmitted her final message. And then, nothing. No mayday. No emergency beacon. Just a vanishing signal and an empty sky. The U.S. government launched the most extensive search effort in aviation history at the time. Over 250,000 square miles of ocean were combed by ships and aircraft for 17 days. But there was no trace of Amelia, Fred, or the Electra. President Franklin D. Roosevelt personally approved funding for the search. George Putnam, Amelia's husband, funded private missions. But everything came up empty. In 1939, 2 years after she disappeared, Amelia Earhart was declared legally dead. But for millions, the story was far from over. With no crash site, no wreckage, and no confirmed remains, countless theories began to emerge. Some were grounded in fact, others in mystery. Theory 1: crashed and sank. This is the official theory accepted by the U.S. government. According to this version, Amelia missed Howland Island, possibly due to bad weather, incorrect navigation, or radio issues. Running low on fuel, she and Noonan ditched the Electra into the Pacific Ocean. The vast depth of the ocean, combined with strong currents and the limitations of 1930 search technology, would have made recovery nearly impossible. Even with modern equipment, underwater searches near Howland have turned up no signs of her plane. This theory is simple, but it leaves one burning question. Why hasn't a single confirmed piece of wreckage ever been found? Theory 2: Nikumaroro castaway. In 1940, British colonial officials discovered human bones, a woman's shoe, a sextant box, and a makeshift campsite on Nikumaroro Island, 350 miles southeast of Howland. At the time, the bones were misidentified and lost. Decades later, modern forensic scientists used measurements and photos to re-examine the case. In 1998 and again in 2018, two independent analyses concluded that the bones likely belonged to a tall Caucasian female, consistent with Earhart's physical profile. Supporters of this theory believe Amelia and Fred crashed on the reef, survived, and lived for weeks or even months as castaways, sending out weak distress calls on the Electra's radio. Eventually, they succumbed to dehydration or injury. But if true, why weren't they rescued? And why were the early clues ignored? Theory 3, captured by the Japanese. One of the most controversial theories is that Amelia and Fred drifted far north of Howland and landed in the Japanese-controlled Marshall Islands. Multiple islanders claim to have seen a white woman and man taken by Japanese troops in 1937. In 2017, a blurry photo surfaced showing a woman resembling Amelia and a man resembling Fred on a dock in Jalawat Atoll. A ship in the background appeared to be towing a plane, possibly the Electra. But the photo was quickly debunked. Researchers traced it to a Japanese travel book published in 1935, 2 years before the disappearance. Still, the theory persists. Could Earhart have been suspected of spying? Could she have been imprisoned, or even executed, by Japanese forces? Some former U.S. military personnel have claimed they saw classified documents about her capture. But no hard evidence has ever surfaced. Theory 4, a government cover-up. A darker offshoot of the Japanese theory suggests that Earhart's flight was a cover for a secret reconnaissance mission for the U.S. Navy, spying on Japanese positions in the Pacific. According to this theory, she was caught, and the government, either unable or unwilling to intervene, allowed the mystery to remain unsolved. Documents remain classified to this day. Is that standard procedure, or something more? Amelia's disappearance did not diminish her legacy, it solidified it. She became more than an aviation hero. She became a symbol of adventure, independence, and the unexplored frontier. Schools bear her name. Statues honor her memory. And every few years, new expeditions head into the Pacific, chasing shadows, hoping to find the truth. Her Lockheed Electra remains one of the most sought-after wrecks in history. But so far, the ocean has kept it secret. Amelia Earhart vanished without a trace, but she left behind a legacy that continues to inspire. Her disappearance reminds us that even in an age of technology, fame, and modern navigation, mystery still exists. Maybe one day the ocean will give up its answer. Maybe we'll find the final clue. But until then, the skies over the Pacific remain haunted by a voice crackling through time. We must be on you, but cannot see you. If you found this mystery fascinating, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a case from Dark Dossier, where we dive deep into the world's most puzzling disappearances, forgotten crimes, and chilling unsolved stories. Stay curious, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next investigation.